it's Lo.
Hi, I'm Hayleigh.
And we are Wrestling Winedown. On this week's episode, we're going to be covering our favorite matches and moments from Extreme Rules, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
We'll also be talking about the word on the street. So grab your glass of wine.
We're going in for the 3 count. Extreme Rules was quite the pay-per-view.
It was quite the pay-per-view, not in a good way, though.
Oh, okay.
I was not a fan. It's called Extreme Rules, which I thought meant it was going to be crazy. People were going to be flying off things. It was going to be insane. But yet, the first match that they came out with, which was Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, it was not entertaining. I was pretty bored in that one.
I actually enjoyed this match, and I know it's probably shocking because I was like, I don't really think I like this match, and Shane and The Undertaker need to calm down and go home, but The Undertaker put on a pretty good performance.
Yeah, I agree. The Undertaker did a good show. It was just they weren't doing extreme things.
Well, think about it. They're 50 years old. Do you want Shane McMahon to jump from the top of the Titantron all the way down? Like, AARP, like, that's elder abuse. Like, you can't do that.
I think Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre could have stepped up and done a little bit
more. First of all, I think the reason why the match was so good in terms of The Undertaker is because it was a tag match. Mm-hmm. Now, if it would have been, like, him and Drew, which supposedly that's what The Undertaker wanted, he really wanted to just face Drew, that would have been a show.
Yeah.
Because 20, 30 minutes in, The Undertaker's tired, and you can tell, like, he's fatigued. But I felt like in this match, since he had Roman there and Shane wasn't in the match all the time, Drew, they switched off or whatever, I felt like it was a good match. But yes, I do agree. They could have done more, but it's kind of scary. Like, I don't know.
I think if they're going to call it Extreme Rules and they're going to promote it in such a way and they don't go all out on it, like, I was kind of disappointed.
What did you think about the end of the match where The Undertaker told Roman it's your yard? We had said before that we thought this match would be like a quote-unquote passing of the torch match. Do you feel like that moment itself was like him passing the torch, or do you feel like The Undertaker is going to come back? I've seen rumors that WWE wants to incorporate The Undertaker versus Sting at, rolling my eyes, the next Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Do you think that The Undertaker's done, or do you think this was just him, like, passing the yard off to Roman to watch over full-time while The Undertaker maybe comes back every once in a while?
The way that I see it happening is The Undertaker's going to come back one more time, and then they're going to actually do a passing of the torch. Might be the last time he's with Roman Reigns, or maybe one more time, and that's it. But I see him being in Saudi Arabia events or like weird things like that. We're definitely getting to the passing of the torch. He's almost retired. I feel it. I see it at the end of the tunnel.
An interesting match that I really liked on the pay-per-view that unfortunately was on the kickoff show was Shinsuke Nakamura facing off against the Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor for Finn's Intercontinental Championship, and Shinsuke won.
Right.
And
weird, because we haven't seen Shinsuke in a while now.
Yeah.
And now he holds the title.
This was a good match, and these two superstars, when they were in NXT, they had such a great feud, so obviously everyone was really excited about this match and wanted to see it, but having it on the kickoff show, rolling my eyes. But it would make sense that Finn Balor lost the title, according to Daily DDT, that he's planning to take some time off after SummerSlam, which would explain what happened the next night when Bray Wyatt made his return to Monday Night Raw and attacked Finn. I think they're starting to kind of phase him out, and they want Finn to put over Bray in his quote-unquote debut match back. I mean, how do you think that's going to go? Do you think this was a smart decision for him to lose his title on a damn kickoff show? Or, I mean, it's weird. I don't know.
I think that there's more to this because
he's engaged, damn it.
He's engaged, so I think that might be part of it. So maybe he is planning on taking some time off, and they are trying to, like, phase him out a little bit because he was, like, so up in the spotlight every single week. So maybe it was just a lot for him, and now he wants to settle down and, start a little family.
Wow, I feel like this turned into a Bachelor review very fast. I don't know how that happened.
My favorite match of the entire pay-per-view was Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman.
Really?
That was the
Shocking.
Craziest match. It was insane. I wasn't, like, really looking forward to this one before it started. And then I just, like, looked up at the TV and I was like, oh my God, like, they are going crazy crazy stuff happened. They took it up the steps. They threw each other down the steps. This was extreme. This was exactly what I thought Extreme Rules was going to be like. What did you think of this match?
The last part of the match was interesting. I felt like these two and the storyline was really boring at first, and the only thing that kind of like made me trigger in on this was Corey Graves saying holy on national television. That's the only thing that made me like, maybe I should tune into this. The match was okay, but I feel like during that end of the match it was really crucial, and you didn't expect that to happen. You didn't expect Braun to just come out of like this.
Breaks the wall.
Yes.
Like, it was insane.
The ending was good. I wasn't a fan of like the whole match altogether.
I liked it just because it was like their wrestling was so intense the entire time. Like, they only had 10 seconds to be down before they were disqualified.
Right.
So they kept getting up, and I don't know. I loved this match. I thought it was the best match.
The two matches off this card that I really enjoyed were Ricochet versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship, and the main event with winner takes all, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. This United States Championship match, I kind of felt like Ricochet was the underdog from the beginning, ever since he won this championship, and AJ Styles turned heel. He joined the club again, which, about damn time, but I kind of knew AJ was going to win. But now you're kind of seeing this transition. Now it's like, you know, AJ will attack Ricochet, then Ricochet attacks AJ, and it's like this pattern. They did that on Raw. Mm-hmm. But do I think Ricochet is going to get his title back? I don't think it's going to be easy. I feel like they're going to have like a couple different pay-per-view matches, and then maybe he'll win the title back. I definitely don't see him winning it back in an easy way. Because, I mean, AJ had, 2 matches against Ricochet, and then he won the title, and Ricochet really didn't get a long title run.
Well, I think Ricochet just isn't, like, a super interesting title holder. And while that may seem, like, really mean, but he just doesn't, like, engage with the audience as much as AJ Styles does. And so AJ Styles, people are going to tune into way more. And even though I like Ricochet's wrestling better, like, I think that he's a better wrestler just because he flies more and he does like crazier moves. But I don't think that he goes out there and
his personality.
Exactly. Like,
that's what he's missing.
Exactly. And that's why they gave it up so fast.
Finally, the other match that I really enjoyed with the man's man and the man.
Did you know they're dating?
I did not know. Now I do know. Thank you. This match had typical mixed tag match rules. So the men faced the men, the women faced the women. But, you know, we saw a couple instances where we were like, is this about to happen? Lacey comes out with Seth on her ass, and I don't know if you saw it where they had the camera on her ass, and Renee was like, whoa,
yep.
And it didn't register to me that it said Seth until Corey Graves said something, because I'm like, what is this? Like, is this 2007 WWE? Like, why are they zoomed in on her ass?
Yeah,
and
this is WWE becoming not PG anymore.
Yeah, and then she was trying to seduce him in the ring, and then Becky was like, oh, hell no.
She's like, that's my man.
I was shocked that Baron Corbin hit the end of days on Becky Lynch. Becky and Seth ended up retaining, and then here comes Brock Lesnar.
That pissed me off.
It pissed a lot of people off. We knew that he was going to eventually cash in, and Paul Heyman gave us a warning at the beginning of the night that he was going to cash in.
He was like, is he going to cash in, or am I just being Paul Heyman? I was like, okay, first of all, stop.
It's a great business decision on WWE's end. I mean, everyone's going to tune into SummerSlam now because they want to see if Seth's going to win his title back, and is Brock Lesnar going to show up? Like, when is he going to show up to stuff? People are interested in that aspect, and I think that's why he was such a good Money in the Bank winner, because no one knew when he'd pop up, and Seth didn't know he was going to pop up. You saw his face. He was
so
shook.
Sad. So sad. I was sad for him.
What did you think about this match?
I thought that this match was actually really good. I like the chemistry between both teams. So, of course, we know Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are going to have good chemistry together. But Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin also were a really good team.
Do you think that Lacey Evans likes Olive Garden? Maybe that's why she has such a good connection to Baron.
You can get me 50% off all of my meals there.
That might be it.
Free breadsticks for life.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I was just not foreseeing that they were going to get along so well. And there were some times when the match got really slow, like when Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins were trying to like set up the 2 tables.
Yeah.
That
was really awkward.
Century and a half. Yeah.
When they went to the top rope and they were both jumping, like that whole setup was just weird.
Yeah. But there were good things that happened in the match.
Right, I agree. It should be interesting to see what matches come about for SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. Raw, SmackDown, NXT this week.
So Monday Night Raw, the day after Extreme Rules, was kicked off by the new Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. One thing that we were both worried about when it was rumored that he was going to cash in on this title was that he wasn't around when he held the title. So, I mean, it's a good sign that he's there the first day back.
Oh, please. He's just having his little party. So, he had the title up to his ear. He was acting like it was a beatbox again. He just wanted to have his little party so he could go off and not be seen for a couple weeks until SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. A couple long weeks.
Yes.
So, who do you think has the ability to beat Brock Lesnar and get this title?
The answer to that would be Seth Rollins, since he did win the qualifying match to get another shot at his WWE Universal Championship. Do I think Seth is going to win? I don't know. I mean, I really think that this whole thing with Becky is going to get involved, and they're going to try and make this into a dramatic storyline, and Becky's going to get involved in the match and cost Seth his title opportunity. I don't really see Brock Lesnar being in WWE as a champion after SummerSlam. I feel like WWE really wants people to tune into this as it's, one of their top pay-per-views. And that's why they put Brock Lesnar as champ again.
I do hope they give Seth another chance at this, but I can also see someone else stepping in and trying to get this. I'm not sure who. I could see like Samoa Joe going for it, or who knows? Someone else that's capable and has like the ability to beat Brock Lesnar, since honestly not everyone on this roster has that ability. But we'll see. We'll see who gets the next chance.
I don't know if you've been following along with this 24/7 title belt, but it sure does get around, and Drake Maverick brought the title on his honeymoon, and then he brought it on his hotel trip with his new wife to solidify their new marriage.
Yes.
And
I mean, this is the best title. It's crazy, and they do the craziest things, and what other protection do you need other than the 24/7 belt?
This was a crazy scenario. We knew Drake Maverick had a huge target on his back, having this title, flaunting it around. He's literally in the bed with his wife with just the title belt on, and R-Truth comes out of nowhere on a catering card and pins him for the 3 count. His wife is right there. She's screaming bloody murder, and guess what Drake Maverick does? He runs to go get his belt and leaves his wife in the room.
First of all, he's naked. Second of all, I would divorce him.
I think this is a great storyline. I see that they're probably going to sign his wife. I think it would be a great storyline.
She's a very crucial part of this title right now.
This is some interesting ass TV. Yep. Like, The Bachelor, whatever else show you watch. This is prime time, baby.
Yep.
You know what was like really weird during this part, though, that I was just kind of like, why say this? There was 2 things that Corey Graves said. Of course, Corey Graves said it. He made a comment about how usually he has to pay to watch this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, all right. And then we get back and it's Renee Young, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves. And everyone's in shock that Drake Maverick just lost his title. And Corey Graves says something like, why would he utilize a small package as well to get the title? And Renee loses it. She's laughing so hard. Corey's laughing. You could tell Michael Cole, he like chuckled a little bit and he's like, what the is wrong with everyone?
Michael Cole is their dad,
and
then their siblings. Crazy. The things he says are insane. How does he get away with that?
I don't know. I was actually a really big fan of the little town hall that they had on SmackDown Live. We've never seen anything like this before. Shane McMahon had a wild hair up his and decided that he'd have a town hall for all his superstars to come out and talk. Because Kevin Owens the week before came out and shouted out all the superstars that Shane McMahon takes TV time from, including Liv Morgan, Authors of Pain, Buddy Murphy. Kevin Owens, he preached, okay?
He even did that during the pay-per-view, so even more people saw it during his 2-second match. But he made it worth it. He came out and called Shane McMahon out, which needs to be done.
And Roman Reigns told Shane McMahon to kiss his
Good.
I thought it was very interesting that they used Liv Morgan in this scenario. We haven't seen Liv in a match since she was drafted to SmackDown in April. She took on Charlotte Flair. She lost. She had a breakdown afterwards. And she said something about Charlotte was right, like, this isn't the real Liv. So I'm thinking that she's probably going to have some type of character rebuild, which I think is honestly necessary. I'm tired of the blue tongue. I love Liv Morgan as a performer.
Yeah.
But I feel like this blue tongue and her using the Riot Squad theme, she needs to be her own person.
Right. She was great with the Riot Squad, but now she's by herself and
Right.
she needs to figure something out.
So, I mean, it should be interesting to see, you know, what WWE cooks up for her to move on with the future.
She's sassy.
She
and
is
I like
sassy.
That. She even called out Charlotte Flair, asking if anything was real about her or if she's all plastic, which, damn.
Yikes.
Ouch. Got to her core.
We saw Ember Moon hunt for a partner to face off against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and she picked the SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley, who said that Ember is her new challenger for the Women's Championship. I think these two are going to have a really good match together. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope Ember gets the title, but I don't know. I mean, maybe she can win it that fast.
I mean, Ember, quite honestly, is one of the best competitors, but she just never gets the showtime.
Right.
And so her and Bayley together, I think that they could really win at SummerSlam. I think that great things can happen for the both of them.
I think they have enough time to get together a storyline for them. I think Raw's doing a really great job. They just determined that Natalya will be facing off against Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. And Natalya's sassy. Mm-hmm. She started out really nice and said that Becky Lynch was her friend and she's so excited to face off against her. And Becky told her, I'm not your friend, I'm your competitor. And of course, Natalya pulls out her You know, Natalya loves to say whenever she gets angry. I'm semi-looking forward to the Natalya and Becky match. The only thing that really irritates me about this whole thing with Natalya is that it seems like every, couple months, WWE gets this, inclination to give Natalya a push, and then it doesn't even go down the street. It goes, a couple inches. It doesn't go far. And it irritates me because she's been there a really long time. She was trained in the Heart Dungeon. She's extremely capable and technically savvy in the ring, but yet, why is she not holding a championship? Why is she not getting actual opportunities other than a title match, and then she's gone for, 4 months, and that's the wine and the tea, whatever you drink. Give Natalya a chance, okay? She's been here ever since I started watching. I remember when she competed against Michelle McCool for the Divas Championship. Give this woman a chance. Give her a chance to hold this damn title and prove herself. She's been around way longer than these other women. She's trained with the best. I'm pretty sure she knows how to carry a storyline at this point.
My favorite moment of her that I will never forget, it was right when I started watching WWE. She was in the ring talking about how many influential women have been in WWE, but there's one that has influenced the most, and there's something in the middle of the ring. It's a picture that's covered. She uncovers it. It's a picture of herself. She's like, I am the most influential woman in WWE.
Of course.
And she has been one of my favorites since then.
I just feel everyone underestimates her.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of women on the roster have this issue. They're kind of just left in the corner. And Liv Morgan said it, she felt like Charlotte Flair is taking these opportunities from her. And in a way, it's true. We see the same women competing for the title over and over. That's why I'm so glad that Natalya as well as Ember Moon are getting these title shots, because it shows, a glimmer of hope for these women that are sitting and catering every week.
This week on NXT, Adam Cole decided that he would finally defend his NXT championship title against Twan Tucker.
And you're like, who is this man? Who is he?
So Twan Tucker is a product of the AIW school and knows Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
So not a wrestler on the roster.
Right.
But friends of the wrestlers
I mean,
on
it's
the
a
roster.
great opportunity for him, of course.
Yes.
But then he reveals that, he didn't come alone. And Johnny Gargano runs out. He comes out. He attacks Adam Cole. There's no title match. I was looking forward to a title match, but I think that will come sooner rather than later.
This was definitely a step towards it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Gargano really deserves a rematch for his title.
Do you think he's just scared and that's why he doesn't want to defend his title? Or do you think he's just being stubborn and wants to keep it for as long as he can?
I think Adam Cole is a seasoned competitor, and he knows that he wants to keep the championship for a long time. He wants the championship to be undisputed. So therefore, he's going to keep the title and not defend it. Mm-hmm. He's going to pick these people that no one knows about or that he's obviously going to beat.
He wants to keep it safe.
Yes.
So he can keep his title.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Another really good match that I enjoyed this week was Apollo Crews making his NXT return against Kushida. Apollo Crews got a really good reaction here, and I was so happy because Apollo Crews, again, is one of those superstars that is not utilized properly. We rarely see him, but he's such a great competitor, and I felt like him and Kushida did a hell of a job in this match. It was so good that I need to go watch it again. It was incredible. A lot of people are coming to NXT to challenge Kushida. We've seen Cassius Ohno come and challenge. We've seen different people on the roster challenge Kushida. he's such a great competitor, and I feel like he's doing so well in NXT so far, so I'm really looking forward to see how his career continues.
Apollo Crews was super busy. He defeated Andrade on Tuesday Night SmackDown and then came on NXT where he used to be and lost to Kushida, but
Great match.
So that just shows Kushida.
Versatile.
Yes, exactly. Kushida can beat someone who can beat someone on the main roster.
Right.
Impressive.
Let's get into our word on the street. Raw Reunion is happening this Monday. I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't seen anything like this in a while, except for big monumental shows like the 500th show or the 1000th show or the like. But Raw is hosting a reunion, and they're hosting a huge amount of Hall of Famers, legends, and former superstars, including Booker T, Christian, hallelujah, DX, Eric Bischoff, Miss Kelly, Mark Henry, Ric Flair, Rikishi, Santino Marella, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and someone that I was really surprised about that, honestly, like, I was kind of emotional about was Melina. We haven't seen Melina in a WWE ring in 8 years.
8 whole years.
Like, I sound so dramatic, but I'm, like, tearing up right now. When I started watching wrestling, I really loved Melina. She was so different from the other female superstars, and I felt like she carried the women's division after Trish and after Lita retired. There was this void to fill, and I feel like Melina did it very well among other female superstars such as Victoria, which I don't understand why she isn't on the Raw show, but that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really glad that she's getting her time. I hope it's not one of those types of things where they come out and they wave and then they go back to catering. I want to see some interaction between Melina and some of the main women on the roster. Melina's still wrestling. She's still an independent. You know, other female superstars that are on this Raw Reunion show, including Candice Michelle. She hasn't wrestled in a while. You know, she's a mom now. Kelly's modeling Fashion Nova on Instagram. She does not wrestle anymore. So it would be really interesting to have Melina back on the main roster. I don't know if that's something she's up for, but I just want her to do her split in the ring. That is all I asked for. I had her theme song as my ringtone on my pink Razor when I was like 10 years old. I am here for it. I will be watching it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I live for.
I've seen a lot of criticism about this, though, because WWE is kind of saying that this is a way to engage the younger generations, like the teens, and try to get them to watch it, which, like, when you first think about it, it makes no sense. But then when I thought about it a little bit more, I am super excited for this because I missed the era where they were fighting. So to be able to get to kind of meet them in the ring and in the wrestling setting without having to go back and rewatch the shows from a decade ago, I'm excited. I think that's what they mean. Like, they want to bring these wrestlers back into the spotlight so the younger generations know who they're talking about.
Right.
Since older WWE is so important to understand current WWE.
I definitely feel like this is an event that appeals to, you know, all types of generations. A lot of people grew up on DX and Steve Austin and Alundra Blaze. And then you have people like me who started watching wrestling when Kelly started and when Santino Marella debuted and Melina was holding women's championships. And now you have the people that are starting out now on the main roster like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins.
Right, you have
so
people like me that don't know any of these wrestlers.
Right. So it appeals to a lot of people, and I think they'll have really good ratings for this show.
I think that it's a great idea for them to do this in the way that they're doing it. Instead of just like, here's everyone. Goodbye.
Right.
They're going to actually, hopefully, engage them in the show.
Hopefully.
2 fingers crossed. I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine for good luck.
Starrcast made a huge announcement this week stating that their headliner for Starrcast III in Chicago, Illinois will be none other than CM Punk, which I think is interesting. I think it will bring a lot of people out. CM Punk has not wrestled for a very long time. He's tried his luck at MMA, hasn't come out on top, and people, you know, started assuming that he would probably come back to wrestling after a couple months ago. He appeared at an indie show in a mask. People didn't know if it was him or not. People said that he was down the block in the same shirt without a mask. So I'm assuming it's him.
Right.
He hasn't performed in the ring as himself in quite a hot minute. I think it was smart of Starrcast to introduce him as a headliner because Chicago, Illinois is his hometown. A lot of people that have enjoyed him in the WWE previously will probably come out to see what he has to say because he never does interviews when it comes to wrestling corporations or anything wrestling related. And then people are starting to assume that All Out is the day after. Is he going to sign to AEW?
Right.
What do you think?
So CM Punk said to Sports Illustrated in an interview, "Knowing the weekend will attract fans from all over the world for AEW, and since I normally only do one signing a year, it's a great way to meet people that I normally wouldn't get the chance to otherwise. Looking forward to seeing everyone there." So I think maybe he's just doing this as a way to get more outreach. I don't know. But I could see him going to AEW.
I think AEW has provided an opportunity for these superstars that aren't willing to put their bodies on the line 300 days a year to go and sign to an organization, but not have to do something, consistently. Now, that might change when AEW has a weekly show. They might have to, do different shows and have a continuous schedule, but right now, that's not the case. I don't know if I see CM Punk signing to AEW. I would be shocked.
I think he's having fun doing his own thing
I think so too, but Cody Rhodes has done an impeccable job of signing superstars that we haven't expected, and, you never know. We didn't think Goldust was going to leave the WWE after all those years with them. Even though he wasn't being utilized properly, not a lot of people assumed that he would jump ship to AEW. We saw that Rhino. He was released from his WWE contract, and before he was even done with his contract, he was on a TNA show. He was on the last TNA pay-per-view in a mask, and he had the same mannerisms. Everyone assumed it's him. Now his contract ended, I think, a day ago, and he's already on TNA posters, and WWE doesn't have an issue with it. It's becoming to the point where people are just so anxious to get out of their contracts and try new stuff that I feel like it's like obvious and we expect it, or we don't. I think something's fishy. I don't know if he's signing or not. I'm interested to follow along the journey.
CM Punk retired in 2014, so he's just been chilling for a while.
Yes.
And he's still young, so I can see him joining another organization. He still has time. He can still do some crazy moves. He's not going to put on boring matches.
I could even see him maybe going into like a training role almost, kind of teaching, the guys that are just starting out or maybe who have been there a couple years, some of his do's and don'ts that he's learned in the ring. I don't know, but I definitely miss CM Punk in wrestling, and I feel like that's an unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of people are like, that guy, like, he's such an asshole, and you still hear people chanting CM Punk in the audience at WWE events, so I think some people miss him, but a lot of people get online and bash him, but you have to admit, his time in the WWE, he was such a great character, and he started out as a straight-edge superstar. He had his long, stringy hair in ECW. He became WWE champion. He was so captivating in the ring as a superstar and as a personality, and I felt like, during the end, he did a lot of out-of-the-box work, and I miss him in the ring.
People get so excited when there's anything new, as we see with AEW, so...
Right.
I think that if he joins this, they're going to be excited. If he joins something else or even goes into training.
I think a lot of people are excited just for him to even have this signing.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to know what he's up to. People want to know why he chose this event out of all of them that he's probably presented to have this interview.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting.
We're going to stay tuned. Yes.
For our last word on the street for this week.
Get your wine ready for this one.
Yeah, get the bottle ready because this is crazy. There's been rumors that Ronda Rousey is returning to WWE. They say that this is because there's been hinting towards it. She's currently on her impregnation vacation.
Never mind.
But her husband is saying that she can go back to WWE whenever she wants. And, she does have unfinished business with Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch's storyline is kind of calming down since Seth Rollins lost his title, so now would be a good time for her to pop back in. But, I mean, her impregnation vacation has not been a whole 9 months. So unless she isn't getting pregnant or she is and she's just not coming back, who knows?
I really don't care what's going on in Ronda Rousey's bedroom, but I do not want to see her back in the WWE ring unless it's something to take the WWE women's division to the next level, unless they're announcing an evolution too. I really don't want to see Ronda back in the ring.
They would need a reason to bring
exactly.
her back.
I think just her showing up on a random Monday Night Raw, it's just kind of like, here we go again. Like, it's not interesting anymore. She needs to go to NXT. She needs to go somewhere and train. The way she throws people around in the ring is dangerous.
Her
Like,
wrestling is not WWE
it's not
wrestling.
smooth. Ronda Rousey's style is still very like rugged. It's MMA based.
It kind of reminds me of Brock Lesnar, the way
Yeah.
that he fights.
I don't know. I don't enjoy Ronda Rousey in the ring. Obviously, she has the star appeal, and people will watch WWE because Ronda Rousey's on there. But I don't see. I understand the unfinished business. Becky Lynch took her title from her at WrestleMania. We're at SummerSlam now. It is August. It is a new day. Yes, it is. And we don't want to see her. Go sit down. Okay?
Yeah, she needs to take some more time off and maybe never come back, or maybe go back into MMA. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think she's ready to retire, but
absolutely not. I see it as, I think WWE needs to continue down this path of giving these women opportunities that are already on the roster. Why are you bringing women in that don't have any proper wrestling training? She's been trained in MMA,
which like they fight
differently
to like make the person bleed. Like they don't care, and it's crazier.
So, WWE, if you're somehow listening to this, please don't bring Ronda Rousey back unless it's to announce an Evolution 2. That's all I have to say. Do not at us. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Wrestling Winedown. You can tune in to all of our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Play.
You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at WWDcast. That is at WWDcast.
You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We upload episodes every Saturday. Until next time, enjoy your wine and, of course, enjoy your wrestling. Cheers!